Hi, my name is Sarah Duke, and I would like to talk to you about hostess coaching. So, hosting a party might come naturally to you, but it does not come naturally to everyone. Chances are your hostess is going to need some tips and tricks to make sure she gets her friends to the party. Okay, so very first, you want to make sure and nail down a date. Say something like, I am so excited you want to host a party. I have my calendar pulled up, and here are the two dates that I have open. Which date works for you? I always just offer two dates, and I hardly ever have it where one of those two dates does not work for the hostess. And if one of those two dates does not work, you can go on to a third or fourth. But make sure you are giving out the dates and having her pick one. I do not consider a party booked until you have a date on the calendar. Okay, you want to make sure and call your hostess. This really helps her get excited. Hearing each other's voices on a phone call helps get them so much more excited, and it helps her take you a little more seriously. But you want to make sure she answers. So no one is going to answer a completely random call they get on their phone. So you want to make sure and tell her ahead of time that you're going to call. Have her pick a good time of day or an exact time that you are going to call. Then, before you call her, send her a quick text and just say, hey, is now a good time? When she says yes, call immediately. On this phone call, I like to have a checklist ready for me to go through with her. This helps give me confidence while I'm calling, and it makes sure that I know exactly what I'm going to talk with her about. I have an actual physical log that I use with checklists inside of it. I like having pen in hand when I'm on the call. It just gives me something to kind of fiddle with while I'm on the call, gives me a little more confidence, and I like having that checklist going. This actually happened to me in another direct sales company. I hosted a party for another direct sales company, and she called me with a checklist that was somewhat similar. And it really had a great impact on me because the questions she was asking me were very simple. Like, okay, when do you think a good time to set up your party would be? Is there a specific product that you would like me to feature? Um, Asking me when I thought it would be a good time to close the party. Things that were very simple, but it gave me ownership in that party and made me want to work even harder at it for her and then also for myself. I also mail out a hostess packet. This is not anything complicated, and you can set these up before you even start gathering hostesses. Go ahead and sit down one day for 30 minutes to an hour and pack all of your hostess packets. So inside there's a letter from me with instructions on how to invite. There are the hostess rewards chart, a catalog, a join my team flyer, and then a little bookmark inside. These do not have to be anything complicated. You can put a mini book in there if you would like. If it's a hostess you're particularly excited about, you might throw in a phonics reader. Anything to just get her a little bit more excited and flipping through the catalog to start her wish list. All right, so address mass inviting early. I address this in Facebook Messenger and on my phone call. So as soon as she picks a date, I tell her to not mass invite. This is the words I use, but the key at the end is this: are you okay with inviting that way? Make her say yes. Having her say yes really helps reduce your chances of her going against your advice. That's just psychology 101. It's much harder for someone to lie to you if they have just said yes to your face. Then you want to make sure and address it at least one more time. It's preferred that you address it on your phone call, but if you're not making a phone call, then at least address it one more time in Messenger. Just a reminder, and even say, I know I've already said this already, but I just want to remind you, make sure and wait until they say yes. Give her a little bit of perspective on the party. I think a lot of hostesses think that If they send out 15 messages, that those 15 people will say yes, and those 15 people will show up to the party, and those 15 people will purchase. Make sure she knows that that's not necessarily the case. I tell her that I sent 200 messages out to my first party. You can tell her to text them if they don't respond, or tell herself to make sure not just limit herself to close family and friends, that other people love these books as well. Okay, if she does mass invite, that's okay. We can redeem this. You blame yourself. You say, oh, I just did not explain that well enough, and try to move on with some troubleshooting. Don't get defensive. Don't let her know you're annoyed with her. Just stay really positive and keep coaching her and have her go get those RSVPs. Become a problem solver with her. You can discuss messaging all the people she invited, telling them about the event, and if no one has RSVP'd yet and she did like a major mass invite, sometimes I just completely recreate the event. That usually keeps them from mass inviting again. In the party, make sure to post an RSVP reminder. This is some of the wording that I used, that you guys are in for a treat. Make sure that you RSVP. I tell them the 2 ways so far to earn raffle tickets. They earn one by RSVPing to the event, and then they also earn one by commenting on the How Old Is Your Reader post. Then you can also tag people in this post who have not yet RSVP'd. You can tag them in the comments, or you can tag them in the actual photo, like they're a person in the photo. Sometimes Facebook lets you tag easier if you're tagging them like it is their picture in the photo. All right, if you have a great hostess, push her even more. You can do a prize upgrade or a second prize if they make it to the next level of RSVPs. I personally do 40, so if they've made it to 25, then I'll offer her an additional prize if she gets to 40. And remember that from the very beginning in that phone call, you've told her that the party doesn't qualify for prizes if it doesn't reach a certain amount. I personally do $150 in sales for my extra prizes, so none of these prizes are available unless she reaches $150 in sales. Now, of course, the UBAM minimum is $100, so she can still get her free books and a discounted book if she gets to $100 in sales, but for my prizes, my minimum is $150. Don't forget this step. Don't forget to try to recruit your hostess. Just always mention it. Ask if she's ever thought about it, and if she says yes, then go on to have more discussions with her about that. Make sure she follows up. There are 2 ways that you want to make sure she follows up. First, you want her to make sure and follow up with those people who have not yet RSVP'd. So they've been invited to the event but haven't yet RSVP'd. Then you also want her to follow up with the people that have not yet responded to her message. This is a little bit harder because you might have to kind of gauge your hostess's comfort level on this. If she's nervous about being too pushy, then this might not be easy for her. But I just tell her to send something short and sweet like, hey, don't forget my Eyes Warm book party starts tomorrow night. I really think you'd love it. Let me know if you'd like an invitation. So you've already used the other script that ended with, would you like an invitation? So this is a little less pushy because it's not a question at the end, so she's not going to feel as pressured to respond. So this might help if your hostess is a little nervous about being too pushy. Then make sure she posts on her wall. Make sure she knows that this does not replace personal messaging. This is not going to get her a ton of RSVPs, but it does help get a few people that she might have missed. And here's some wording that she can use to post on her wall, but make sure she posts a graphic with it. You want something to catch people's eye. So send her a graphic with a lot of books in the picture, and that will really help her get some attention. Remind her to comment and like her friends' posts during the party. This helps really keep them engaged and stay from start to finish. All right, you want to make sure and get them to the party. RSVPs are great, but you need them to actually be there. So make sure that she sends a message 15 minutes before the party starts, or you could do 30 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you think is going to work for her schedule. And have her send something short and sweet like, hey, my book party's about to start. See you on the event page. I'm so excited. If she does not make the RSVP count, I will even offer her a free book anyway if she gets, say, 12 participants throughout the party. So you could offer some other prize, like if she gets 15 people to participate throughout the party, she could get the new alphabet cards or another Shine-a-Light, something like that. You could do this either if she did or did not make the RSVP count. Pick a number that you think would be good for her to actually get to the party and offer her another prize. Make sure you're using the words throughout the party. You don't want her to just get the 15 people to comment on the RSVP, on the roll call post and then disappear. You want them participating throughout the entire party. So make sure you use that wording throughout the party. Understand that flop parties happen. It's okay. There are a variety of reasons why this could happen, but you cannot let it discourage you. Reassess, reevaluate, look at what you did right, look at what you might have done wrong. But a flop party does not necessarily mean you did anything wrong. It could be because the hostess just didn't want to put the work in. She just wanted the freebies, or something came up in her life that prevented her from being able to put any effort toward it. She could have felt like she was just doing you a favor by giving you the opportunity and she didn't have to do the work. Or her friends might just not have had the money right then. There are a lot of reasons that might not have anything to do with how you coached her. So do not let it discourage you. Talk with your sponsor or your team leader about what you might could do differently next time, and do not let it negatively affect your business. All right, so I hope this has helped you with your hostess coaching. Make sure and look for the checklist that I have that goes along with this, so you can have the wording and some of the steps to making sure that you don't miss out on anything in your hostess coaching. And I hope this has been helpful. Have a great day. Bye.